Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Yes, I am definitely under the weather, but I feel good enough to cast, so we're going to do Snow versus Light here on Neo Sylphid. Top side, we have a white Protoss player. It is Snow. And in the bottom left, we have an orange Terran. It is Light. Had a subscriber request a Snow game. And RJB sent me one a couple of years ago, so here we are on Neo Sylphid. Two excellent players in Snow and Light. And yeah, we'll see how this cast goes. It's my annual, I don't know, upper respiratory infection. I'm not entirely sure why this happens, but just going with it, just flowing with it. Whew. I've been resting all day, drinking fluids, and medication and all that stuff, and hopefully it'll be gone tomorrow, but we will see. Alright, and so it's EVP here on Neo Sylphid. Gateway coming up. Barracks coming up after the supply depot, 150 minerals, right on time. Bam, supply depot down, and 150 minerals. Who's going to build it? Ah, this guy right here. This guy right here. You know how PvT works. Protoss needs more bases to kill Terran. Dragoons are very good. Zealots are good. Storm is good. Arbiters are good. Tanks and vultures are the backbone of the army for Terran. And Goliaths as well. If there are Arbiters... and more Goliaths if there are carriers coming out. Alright, what are we doing here today? Well, nothing too crazy. Cybernetics core coming in. Because again, you want to be safe, right? If you go for a one-gate expand or a gateway first, and your opponent shows up with vultures, you just die if you don't have dragoons. And same thing over here, right? If you go for a Rax expand without getting a factory, then you just die when the Dragoons show up, because you need that factory tech to survive. So it's a very, almost a mirror-style matchup, because you can't just go for the fast expand in this matchup no matter what, no matter who you are. You can risk it, for sure. You can go for a risk play on a 4-player map, but on a 3-player map, the odds of getting found early are pretty high, and, I mean, at this point, both players have been scouted, so at least knowing where your opponent is a very, very important play here. So yeah, I like that we're keeping the probe out, not allowing any scouting whatsoever. Zealot might try to break his way through here, but look at these SCVs body blocking, man. The Zealot's going to take a lot of hits before we can get through this. And yeah, the SCV saw there was a Zealot moving across, so that's why there are more SCVs and Marines back here to defend. Another Marine comes out. I don't think the Zealot is getting through here anytime soon. So Zealot, I think, recognizes what he's dealing with right now. He's kind of getting chased away by the SCVs and the Marines. And making a Vulture first, recognizing there's some weird Zealot pressure going on, so having a Vulture is not going to be too bad. But Dragoon shows up, and maybe kind of put some pressure on here, but, you know, Marines are pretty okay at dealing with Dragoons. They do a good amount of damage to them. It's just Dragoons have excellent range, and in the hands of a good Protoss player like Snow is, it could be really hard to get Marine shots off on this dude, especially because Singularity Charge is on the way. So, no bunker, intriguingly enough. Might try to get one up here now. Yeah, there we go. Bunker attempting to come up. Dragoon might try to jump in and pick some stuff off. But one Dragoon can't kill SCVs very quickly and can't kill Marines very quickly either, and the bunker doesn't take that long to build. So this bunker is going to finish, the Marines will get inside, and the Dragoons won't be able to do anything, at least until Singularity Charge is on. So the Marines get inside the bunker. At least 3 of them do. 4 of them should be in there, but they're not. That's okay. Yeah, Singularity Charge finishing up here. Ooh, scouting SCV good. Does get sniped by a probe as soon as I move the camera away. You could hear that, though. But tanks in production to deal with the Dragoons. They're going to have that range upgrade, and they're going to start firing now. He's trying to find the sweet spot. There you go. Sweet spot. So 2 Dragoons equals 2 SCVs repairing. We just go up from there. And then when the tank comes out, should be able to chase these Dragoons away to some extent anyway. What are they doing? Like, Marines are trying to absorb hits here? So there's the repair, 3 SCVs for 3 Dragoons. Equilibrium has been established. Barracks flying out to provide some additional vision. See how many Dragoons there are. Then the Siege Tank is getting some pretty decent hits off, as it does do a full 30 damage per shot to these Dragoons. And they're tanky, but 30 damage per shot is a big amount of damage for sure. Honestly, I'm surprised we're not getting any research in the machine shop. Usually by now we've got Vulture Speed or Spider Mines or Siege Mode or something coming in here, but Light not really interested in doing that right now. For whatever reason. Observatory coming in for scouting purposes, and just because, obviously, against Spider Mines, having detection is incredibly important. But I'm really shocked at no upgrades coming in here at all from Light. What is going on, dude? Either way, both players have their natural bases rolling. Nobody has their second gas yet. Dragoon pressure is real, but a little Marine Vulture tank push. There's your Spider Mine upgrade from Light. It feels late, but I guess maybe he just wanted a couple extra SCVs, another factory, another tank before he started going for that Spider Mine upgrade. I mean, he's at 30 to 31 workers, which is a pretty darn good SCV count. So it looks like potential, yeah, going to go for a third base here, which is close to the Terran base, and it's kind of scary. I mean, if tanks set up on this low ground, they kind of just crush your Nexus from there to there with appropriate vision, which is not hard. You float the barracks over and you're pretty much good to go. So I'm kind of interested in Snow trying to take this base as a third rather than something over here a little bit further away, which is what's getting scouted, right? I think, yeah, the Vulture just checked this area and was like, you have anything there? No? Cool. So no third base yet. I wonder if this is attempting to be a sneaky thing for Snow. Like, this is just Snow being like, you're not going to check that location, right? That's a weird place to expand, so you're not even going to bother. Engineering Bay coming in, faster Vulture. So interestingly enough, we're not getting tank siege mode, which may be a mistake because that's a dead siege tank, and that's another dead siege tank. Look at this. Another dead siege tank. It's so much easier to keep the tank count low if you're Protoss if the tanks don't have siege mode. If none of them have siege mode at all. Oh, the barracks is going to die. That sucks. You got to make another barracks before you can build more factories. That's terrible. Dude, Light's in trouble here. I'm a little bit confused at his play. Like, it's 330 APM for him. Oh, another tank goes down. I think Snow's got this thing. Like, I don't want to... We're 7 minutes into this game. I don't want to call it. But, like, you kill all but one of the siege tanks your Terran enemy has at 7 minutes and don't lose hardly any of your Dragoons, and you're up. Okay, you're actually down in total supply, but you're doing great on the Dragoon to siege tank count. And yeah, if you're just not going to get siege mode for your tanks, I'm just going to keep bullying you with these. What is going on? He's getting vehicle weapons before he gets siege mode on his siege tanks. This has got to be the weirdest thing I've ever seen from Light in a game that I've ever cast of his, and I've cast a whole bunch of them. There's siege mode, finally coming in at gosh darn 8 minutes. Who waits for 8 minutes to get siege mode on his siege tanks in a PvT against somebody as good as Light is? Oh, so we didn't expand here. We did expand over here. So Snow decided, nah. Why are there 2 pylons here, though? I guess for vision purposes, in case a dropship comes and tries to come into here, he gets some advance warning. That's what this probe is here for, too, but I mean, there's not a starport, so drops are going to be pretty hard to pull off. Anyway, Arbiter Tribunal coming in off of this 2.5 base play. Third base is not quite done yet. Pretty standard timing in 2020 or so when this game was played. I believe this is a 2020 match, so about 18 months old probably. Somewhere around there, fairly recent nevertheless. There's that Tribunal. We had that discussion the other day, Tribunal or Tribunal, whatever. I don't think it really matters. I think I'll just swap back and forth on that. Trying to throw up a turret at the front, but the SC... Oh, secondary turret gets the Observer, though. Vultures are trying to run out, but the Contain is pretty sick here from Snow. Looking at positioning, he's like, no, you are not. Oops, sniping that probe was pretty fancy stuff. There's a shuttle at the front here. Maybe some Zealot bombing on these tanks would not be a terrible idea. But if you Zealot bomb, when there's a ton of Vultures, the Zealots just kind of tend to die real fast. But siege tank firing is pretty quick, too. Charon Booster coming in, more Goliaths on the way here, too. Ground weapon upgrades for the Protoss. Terran base is looking, another barracks is up. Going for a starport now, and really just working off of these 2 factories for the time being. Trying to get a third CC up, but like he needs to move out a little bit and take some territory before he can get a third base. Like we're looking at This is a pretty viable option for a third. This is also pretty good. But look at this. It's like, hey, you're going to try to expand down here? I'm just going to sweep around this other huge ramp. Come up, kill your SCV. Kill a couple of your vultures while we're at it. Yeah, thinks about unloading some of those zealots, decides not to. Ooh, 3 Dark Templar in play. I kind of love that from Snow. He's like, all right, I'll get some Dark Templar shenanigans. But there's spider mines scattered about for that very purpose. Zealots are also here for that kind of a thing. Why did that spider mine not attack? It unburrowed. Okay, the vultures show up, and that's time to back out. So, Yar, getting a leg enhancement upgrade, getting a 4th base now, too, is Snow. Unloading zealots here. Like, we're going to bring some DTs in next. But again, spider mines are great against incoming DT drops and zealot drops. And dragoon drops. Like, that's just seeding your own base with spider mines, Terran players. If you're not doing that, why aren't you doing that? Some food for thought there. Whew. I think we're doing all right here on the cast. I think we're alive, if just barely. Nah, I'm feeling better than I sound, that's for sure. And if you've been a fan of mine for a while, you remember my annual Falcon sounds like he's dying for a week casts. But then I get better and it's fine again. See, DTs, not bad. Supply depot down, SCV down, scan comes up, pick up the DTs, get them out of there. Beautiful stuff. This is really great. Snow's up 156 to 120 total supply. Oh, Spider Mine actually connects on an SCV. Friendly fire splash damage causing major issues there. Sick play. Out of Snow for sure. DT's, God, just absolutely gorgeous. Snipes an SCV, picks up, gets out. Doesn't lose anything. I mean, bringing a couple Goliaths over here, I feel like would be pretty awesome. Look at this micro. He's like trying to avoid missile turret hits as well as he can. Oh, man. Snow is coming in here. Oh, the scan comes in and he picks up before anybody can fire. Dude, Snow, you're such a boss. You're such a boss. So here comes the attack. Wow, really? We're just going to go? I mean, the tank count is not as high as it could be because of those earlier takedowns. And here we go. Zealots in the front. Dragoons coming in here, too. And is it enough to take down the tank down? That's another tank down. Stasis on these two. Dude, okay. All right. This is just Snow putting on a clinic in how to play PvT. Artosis, avert your eyes if you're watching this game. It is not... That is not safe for Artosis. NFSA. And my other Terran fans in the who are watching this thing, it just you can't win this game. You're at 3 siege tanks at 13 minutes. You're down 147 and 105 supply. The cloak provided by the Arbiter is way better than it should be. And then look at this. He times it perfectly. When the tanks come out of stasis, he's got zealots there to wipe them out too. So they're not even part of the party, really. Observer does get sniped by a missile turret, which is nice. But it's 142 to 94 total supply. I mean, this is... Yeah, Zealots on top of SCVs. SCVs are trying to fight. Reinforcing units are trying to come in and save this third base. And it looks like they might be able to. Spider-Man's getting some decent hits off on these Zealots for sure. Is there still stuff happening here? No. The DT shenanigans are over. And, I mean, sure. Look. Light manages... Oh, he loses the science vessel. Light manages to shove this away, but that's a 7-kill Dragoon, everybody. By that, I mean an 8-kill Dragoon, everybody. 8 kills, boss. Boss man, and reinforcements come in because, of course, Snow is macroing like crazy behind this. He's got a 5th base. There is not a path forward here for the Terran player, Light. Like, Light is playing his heart out right now, but the early game just set him so far back. Look at this base. Look at what's happening. It's 65 to 53 workers. More SCVs are getting killed. Again, Dragoons are established to be very bad at killing some things, and that's your GG. Light taps out. I assume he said GG over Discord or something, but he done. He's absolutely done. Insanely incredible play there from Snow. I don't know if we're going to see a better PvT on this channel than this. I don't know if it gets much better for Protoss players than this does. Like, maybe proxy gateways that don't get scouted can win faster, but man. And again, I really got to put a lot of this onto Light just not getting siege mode for his siege tanks until 8 minutes. And he lost 3, 4, maybe 5 siege tanks that were unsieged to Dragoons. They were very happy to pick those tanks off. If there's nothing sieged behind them, then hey, why not? Disgusting. I mean, it's just Light left that window open. And obviously Snow took it because he's an elite Protoss player and he recognizes windows when he sees them and pounced. That's it. That's all he did. So, I mean, the pressure was on from minute 2. There were zealots up in here causing problems super early, and then Light was never able to get out. He was never able to get... You got to get those rounds of Vulture attacks out, man, on top of different bases around, like slowing down the economy of the Protoss as much as you can, but he never could do that. The Dragoons are containing extremely well. And he got Stasis out, he got Arbiters out, and those were the pieces to his puzzle. Zealots, Dragoons, +1 attack. Arbiters for Stasis and Cloak. We get that win. Insane. I mean, just, man. Incredible stuff there. End of the day, 66,000 points from Light, 84,000 from Snow. Produced fairly similar numbers of units. Light actually produced more, but that kill-death ratio was almost 2-to-1 in favor of the Protoss, and that's tanks, that's a lot of stuff. And then 29,000 resources lost from Snow, spent from Snow, and 25,000 from Light, and in only 14 minutes. That's going to be a big deal. That's going to be really tough to deal with. I don't care if that's Flash on the other side of that number, going to be hard to win. So great, just disgustingly great game. Like, insanely good game there from our Protoss player Snow, and whoever requested the Snow replay has got to be pretty happy. That's all I can say about that. So GG to Snow, and that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.